At this point in the game, it's very easy to get carried away, but you should always remember in any domination game, it's the same rules as before. Nuclear tech, then Air Force, then Navy, then Army. So you can see every decently productive city I've got on the coast is now producing battleships for me. All of these cities, well, I mean, I'm building a couple of military academies and things to get me production, but I'm also building a lot of aerodromes in order to get me those buildings as well. You can see actually these buildings as a girder were being repaired in this city. I think is loyalty is an issue? Oh no, it just has no production. It has no production at all, but that's what I'm trying to do. Air support is the main and important thing. You can see just how ridiculously effective these fighters are at doing what they need to do. Just like being able to just go ka-chunk, and then suddenly that unit is melted into nothingness. It's wonderful. And then being able to like attack the walls here. I mean, admittedly, fighters aren't very good at attacking walls, but we'll get there. So this city is now taken. We are beginning to punch into Brazil. Just having a look at my loyalty. Look, that is suddenly a lot better than it was, and now Victor is super happy over there. So forward you come into Porto, and let's just keep this little wave of fun going. Oh, look at this artillery, just being able to reach just straight over melting Cairo's walls. We've now got 2-shot field cannons in pretty much every location that I can get, and Cairo's walls are now gone, you can tell, because it's just gone to 54. Okay, anything else I want to pillage before we take the city? The answer always is yes. So we're just going to go and get some gold over here. We'll go and get some science over there. That'll do for us. So now that I've got colonialism, I'm actually going to shoot to the top of the tree down here and see if we can go all the way to conservation. The reason I want conservation is resource management. All improved aluminium gives me 1 additional resource per turn. Aluminium is a limiting factor for us because we want to be producing as many bombers as we can get our hands on. Let's start to do that. Bombers are just the best units. They beat ships. You can see Babylon has an aerodrome in it, so I will take advantage of that. And we're building aerodromes in other cities as well. When I say I'm building aerodromes, I'm really not messing about. I've got a lot being produced now. And with 3 envoys, look at that, I can immediately get Kabul, which is now my suzerain, and get some era score, and double experience from battles I initiate is a huge deal. That is lovely. Right, let's just pillage for 500 gold, pillage for 260 science, pillage for 260 faith. All of these things are lovely. Artillery attack for double experience. It's just so much damage, it's nonsense. And then I get the helicopter army to come in and finish off the capital, which is now mine. It's always worth making sure you don't use the siege tower upgrade too quickly. You can see all of these cities have medieval walls or ancient walls in them. Once Renaissance walls pops up, then I want to upgrade that thing into a medic. But until that point, there's no real need. 1 battleship. Now the walls are down, I can actually use my fighter pretty effectively. The fighters aren't very good at taking walls down, but they are good at taking health of cities down. So there's the ironclad, in that city comes. Got another one, but is now beautifully high on pop. Now, in theory, if I could rush this through, that would be a great canal placement, because then I could sail my boats in, but no, that's not going to be a useful thing for me at the moment. Fighters, by the way, you want to get down to strafe. That 17 plus combat strength, this is non-cavalry units, that does apply to cities as well. It is amazing. It is just the best. So that's definitely we just have to do it immediately. This tile here is pretty useful because I can actually reach both cities with 1 artillery. So I'm just going to do that and melt Mecca's walls away. Very nice. Continued faith accumulation. Don't forget, great people, it definitely helps. Oh, a mod appears to have enabled itself between recording sessions there. I don't know why that's happening, but sure. I'm going to have extra bonus from factories and then also from just workshops. That gives a bunch of production to all my cities. As soon as this helicopter army gets depredation, that will be fun. These things are so good at pillaging. Look at that. Just 1 artillery. This is what the Babylon tech advantage gives you. It is mental. In fact, actually, the helicopter army can just rush in and get the kill, which I'm going to do for the experience. I mean, look at that. That's, is it going to show me minus 100 health, minus 200 defenses? Oh, it didn't show me the experience, but I think it was about 12 or 14 experience I got from that attack. I finally actually got my battleships around here as well, which which is pretty good. I want confidence range finding. That's quite a fun thing for me, but look at all these battleships now, just sort of lurking around. I'm still attacking this encampment for the sake of it, but this is the city I'm after. So I could, in theory, steal tech boost. That would be a pretty useful thing for Babylon, but for me, I think the easiest thing to do is get listening post, because don't forget, diplomatic visibility gives you that lovely +3 combat bonus, which is just applies to everything. It's great. Well, hello. That's a natural wonder. And also the pyramids. This is a beautiful city that I want to take immediately. Here's a settler, purely so I can put that on top of the aluminium. Definitely worth it. I've now got 8 aluminium coming in per turn, but I need more. You honestly need as much aluminium as you can get your hands on. It is so good. Don't forget as well to use your fighters to get these lovely kills. Okay, good. Right, Rio is now being hit from a few different places, and I've now got artillery with an observation balloon so I can fire from a distance. Powerful. Oh my god. Look at that. In one. Chunk. Oh dear. This is not going well for Arabia. It really is not. Right, and I've actually got 2 double firing field cannons which do an incredibly large amount of damage. Anti-tank crews that can just waltz in as well. Aleppo won't be killed this turn, but that is close. 15 pop cities, actually very low considering the amount of stuff I've got. But here we go. There's a helicopter army that will just help me get closer to combustion. I'm almost there now. Let's just quickly get Aleppo. I want to actually give this field cannon the upgrade if I can do it. Oh, it doesn't quite level up. That's a shame, but never mind. In you come. There you go. That city's taken. Everybody heal up. Get ready to go again. Arabia and Brazil and Poland all have 0 army strength now. You'd think they'd all, club together to actually put a stop to me. But no. No, at the moment, they're just sitting back. And Rio de Janeiro is being pelted. The city willingly joins my cause. Well, the city I actually lost then ended up coming back to me for loyalty. So, we'll take that. That's not a bad result. Oh, a bomber. Oh, that is useful, because a bomber against the Cree capital, as you can see, takes about 1/3 to 1/4 of the walls immediately. I mean, that's pretty good. What I'm going to do as well is just build the Grandmaster's Chapel, because I can convert my faith per turn into something a little bit more fun. So using planes to attack Rio, we are now doing some decent damage so that the artillery can come in, and there's total wall damage. Okay. Now that we have total war damage, I can get my anti-tank crew in, because there's only the 1 district defending now. There's 1 turn that city will leave me in. 1 turn. Nope, not going to let it. We're just going to use our planes to attack Rio very nicely, and hopefully this will take the city. Yes, it does. Hooray! Now, loyalty-wise, +20, +3. Okay, yep, look at that. Oh, that city was on 0.5 by the time we rocked that one out. That's pretty good. While I've got naval supremacy and air supremacy over Poundmaker, this is the time we go for a Golden Age war. That's all lovely. We don't mind about that at all. Right, I've got a single battleship. I'm just going to sort of quickly just sail into here. Look, you can see there are enemy units. I'm going to just bomb, stop them from getting across to me by basically just destroying all of their embarked units. And that appears to me all that battleship can do just for now. This biplane, by the way, I'm going to just upgrade to a fighter, and then I can stick him over the sea and stop any units from coming over. So now that I've got combustion, having 3 tanks will give me modern armor, which is pretty cool. I like the sound of that. Killing a fighter is almost impossible to do, but having the globalization civic, if you went Babylon, but you went really cultural, I reckon you do really well on that one. Electricity, actually, to get to submarines is a really good one. If you can get privateers, which is tricky because they're on the culture tree. And again, these things work really well. Oh, I love this artillery. It's so good. I love having 99 strength units. They, they do a lot. It's very apocalypse down. Arabia won't stand the test of time. Lovely. So there we go. Fighter is just going to go over the sea, if it can, deploy over to there. Lovely. Look, we can see the coast now. That is great. The battleship, is an unupgraded, not very good battleship, but this bomber is wonderful. And oh yeah, okay, right, we're going to do that pretty quickly. There you go. This fighter just got strafe. Look at that. 103 strength against cities now. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Not that this artillery needs any help though. It's doing a good job by itself. Just in case I needed era score, there's a military emergency that's just failed. It gives me more city attack. Again, totally unneeded, but good fun nonetheless. Still attacking. Super Fighter hasn't got anything to do, so it's just going to continue attacking. But look, we are so close to having this capital now. Grandmaster's Chapel. Nice. Okay, I don't think I need any great people, generally speaking. They're all doing fine. I mean, I could get Jose de San Martin as Argentinian. We know that. He's pretty good, but I don't necessarily need him because I could just be getting some faith and purchasing and stuff. I like the idea of actually, I mean, do you see that? Purchasing in a tank for 480 faith. That's it. I'm not entirely sure why that is quite that cheap, but I'm not going to say no to it. Right, hang on. 480. We're going to go another one here to get another tank in that place, and then we're going to worship through a third tank over here. That gives me composites, which means I can now upgrade them all to modern armors. Not though that it matters, because with one bomb, look at that, the walls are totally dead. And now with that, the city's dead, because the Ironclad comes in. That's the last capital. The Domination victory is mine. It's a difficult one, that one, because we struggled a little bit with the beginning of the game, I think. It's probably safe to say. Like, we had to go to war with Scythia. We weren't really prepared. We went in. We did what we needed to do. We backed out, regrouped over 10 turns or so, managed to upgrade our troops and went again. And by doing that, we actually managed a lot better in the war than we initially did. I said from before that the later in the game you leave domination, the easier it becomes. Not because you get ahead, but because later game text is so much easier to do. Rocket artillery, for instance, is a massive improvement on regular artillery because it's got 3 range rather than 2. And it's why battleships are so much better than frigates. Frigates have 2 range, they're really good, but battleships have 3. And that's a huge difference, really, really huge difference. Like if you get rocket artillery with 3 range, you give it the promotion with +1 range and then you put a drone on it, which gives it another +1 range. That's a 5 range tile. You can attack any city in the game you want with that. It's amazing. Bombers. You saw how quickly bombers disintegrated cities. You saw how quickly fighters disintegrated units. Like a fighter took out a Ursa in 1 hit. And that was an unupgraded one. Strafe actually would have improved that against like other regular units. The next promotion puts it against cavalry units to make it even more powerful. Fighters are insanely powerful. Like short of modern armor armies and giant death robots, it is almost impossible to resist that sort of thing. And I mean, yeah, you can just see how crazy ahead we were when we have a look at some of these graphs. Player culture, you can see actually you start to pick up towards the end of the game. Player science is an interesting one. Look how far behind I am with Babylon. Babylon, you just don't look at science. Look, I'm actually in charge right at the end. Hilariously speaking, but I don't have any science. In fact, I actually have less than 50 in science for 3/4 of the game. And I'm so far ahead in science because there's no point building science districts for that purpose. Great scientists are useful, but that's not why you get them really. Player score is okay, great people earned. Look, I was doing quite good on that one. But I mean, if we analyse this, like, you see, I've got all the capitals now, that's all great. But Babylon itself, because of a decent industrial zone placement with the coal power plant in, it's got 100 production. You can see 48 from worked tiles. 48, that's amazing. That's only a 12 pop city. Imagine, look, you can see how many mines are not being worked. 1, 2, 3 decent production tiles I can see immediately that just are not being worked. And over here as well is the same thing. So yeah, population is key. Having like lots of builders everywhere. Look at this, like these cities over here are just insane. 80 production. There's a nice 31 there. There's a 50 production city, 30 production, 30 production, 35. I mean, they're all building planes for me. Look, I've got bombers left, right, and center, aerodromes being built. That's actually, I think I just finished a bomber. Look, there's another bomber. So that was my second. So I could have just flown this one over. In fact, actually, look, I can. You can just sort of, with that bomber, I could fly it over to the Cree capital and move another one over. But, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how good an air force is. The Air Force is so much more powerful than anything else. I mean, look at that. Just one fighter, I can decimate that city. 73 strength? Bleh. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing against me. Even Renaissance walls can't stand up against me. Like, I mean, if I just move this unit to here, just so you can see a little bit. You see the fighter actually does make a dent against the city walls, and it's not supposed to. That's not the reason for that unit. But then the bomber, look at that, it just melts the walls. 110 base strength. These things as well, jet bombers, 120 strength. That's insane. With Babylon, basically you're trying to get to flight and you're trying to get to advanced flight as quickly as you can, and it involves getting 2 aerodromes down so that you can get synthetic materials and get helicopter. You want to get 3 biplanes so that you get advanced flight, and then you need to get oil going as quickly as you can so you can power things, and radio going as quick as you can so you can power things. Really, I mean, it's not too bad. I hope, you know, actually me playing this and you seeing it and going through it together does make a difference. I appreciate this is a bit of a whistle-stop tour, and the game is kind of dictated a little bit by actually like how well we're doing in it. The fact that we are acing through the game means that I don't actually have enough time to teach you as much as potentially like a much larger, more difficult game. But I've got deity guides if you want to come and have a look at that sort of thing. That's not a problem. Don't forget, Babylon doesn't have any actual military strength in terms of abilities. What I'm having to do is use spies in order to get diplomatic advantage. If I had my own religion, I could use Wars of Religion. Wars of Religion is a fantastic one. I haven't even unlocked it on this playthrough because I don't think at any point I've actually had a religion that I'm following. Yeah, look, Poundmaker actually is the only person with a religion, but my religion is scattered and everywhere, so yeah, there's no way they were going to convert me. That was absolutely fine. But yeah, military strength is a funny old thing. Mainly it's diplomatic visibility, which gets you it. And, you know, playing as Mongolia or France is quite fun for that sort of thing. But with us, it's just about making sure we're not leaving any on the table. You can see, because I don't have a scout in Brazil at the moment, I haven't got that advantage. And that's only because my spy was in Rio and I took Rio over. So I kind of lost that ability temporarily. But you can see, again, I have my spy in the capital, and now it's sort of on the way and moving over here. Yeah, generally speaking, it's pretty easy, Civ. Just build planes, get to navy, and those 2 things control. You saw very briefly, the Kree couldn't do anything about it because I controlled the air and the sea between our cities. There's nothing they could do. Like, they've still got 300 military strength, and they're pretty impressive knight corps and stuff, but there's nothing they can do with those because they can't embark them and get across the water because my battleship would stop them and my planes would shoot them down. So owning the sea and owning the air is the most amazing prioritization. Look, I did actually have more of a navy than I got to show off this game. I've actually got quite a few battleships. If I just sort of show you, I have been building more of them than you realize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And really, I've been building bombers more than I've been building battleships from that point. The other thing I could have done was build the Venetian arsenal. I forgot, quite frankly. I was going to put my industrial zone instead of here. I was going to put it there so that I could build the Venetian arsenal, but it would have been the wrong side of this ice flow, to be fair. So actually, on hindsight, I'm kind of glad I didn't do that. That would have been a bit of a mistake. What else could I have done? Well, in theory, I could have settled up here. I could have settled here. I could have settled here, just to make use of my continent a little bit more. I had a bit more space, but I was actually taking over cities faster. I could have settled over here. Like, if I was playing as Indonesia, some of these places would have been absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, I mean, Indonesia, you basically want to get hold of all of these, like, you know, these islands with 3 tiles around them, because suddenly you can get, like, the most amazing campuses. Oh, I really miss playing as Indonesia. Hang on, if we did, like, a reef search here. Oh, yeah. So some of these campus tiles, like this campus tile for Indonesia, would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, right. I can't look at this. This gets too exciting. I love Indonesia so much. They're such a good save. Ah, that was good fun. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. Come play this exact game. Come to Discord, find the save file, and show me what you've got. Show me a quicker victory than turn 199, because I think I left something on the table. Yes, I was a grand total of 54 techs versus 14 techs ahead of Brazil, and another 8 techs ahead of the Kree, but I think I left something on the table here. I reckon there's more to this game. Come show me, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, And finally, a very special shout out goes to Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, and Matthew Wilkinson for all of your support on Patreon, as well as everybody else who likes the video, comments, joins Discord, and generally makes this community really good fun. Thank you very much, guys. You keep me going.